Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was adding the case study to the slides. They look good. So I think we're mostly going to be giving updates,
Okay.
because yeah, I don't know if there's one that you would like to give of the group.
Um, let me see.
Elaine's gonna do the winter bike to work, but
Okay. I can mention the RTD Live.
workshops.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. And I don't remember the brochure update. What was I thinking there? I don't remember. Oh, that
I'm
people
not
could
sure.
request new brochures, maybe? Okay. So do you want to do, I mean, I can start us off with the staffing update and then talk
Mhm.
about how we have new brochures.
Okay.
And then I'll turn it over to you for in-person workshops. Sarah might want to say something about that too, just because, yeah.
Okay. Should I let her do it instead?
Hi, Sarah. Ask her. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Do you want to give the update on the RTD Live in-person workshops?
Oh, sure.
Okay, that sounds good. So,
Okay.
um, I found the days for mountain rides, so maybe you could do mountain rides
Okay. That's
Wednesday and Thursdays.
Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah,
Okay. Sure.
yeah. Okay. Hi, Jessica.
Hi. Going.
Good. Let's see. So Maya and Melissa are not joining us, so I think we're good to go. You want to Oh, that slide 29, that didn't get updated with like the panel training, like all those. So I'm gonna hide that one.
Okay. 29.
Yeah.
Which one?
And when should I update?
Ah,
Like when is that slide?
It's after the breakout room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would one of you guys, I can do it if you can't, but would one of you guys mind like putting the link in the chat to the Eventbrite?
Yeah, we could do that.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
wait, Angel, what was the slide 29? What was it about it?
Welcome to the January 21st MAC meeting. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll go ahead and get started. Next slide. So we're just going to do some housekeeping. When you registered for the meeting, you should have gotten, you could either do it in the browser or you can do it in the app. Next slide. Um, if you should have also gotten an invite that had a one-click number, so if you lose internet connection, you can go ahead and click on that and listen into the conversation. We are going to be doing a couple breakout sessions today, so hopefully that'll work if you get disconnected. Next slide. So just a reminder, whenever you're speaking, it's great to have your camera on, but we ask if you're not sharing anything with the groups to please mute yourself. That way we don't get any background noise. Also, the chat function can help you ask questions. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your organization in the chat at this time. Additionally, you can see all the other participants by clicking on the participant icon below. And just a reminder, we are recording this meeting to share with people who are unable to attend. Thank you, Lindsay, for putting your name and organization in the chat. Next slide. I also want to remind everybody that we do have the closed captioning option. So if you want to use closed captioning, you can click on more at the bottom of the menu and then show captions, and then you'll be able to read like what everybody's saying in the group chat. Do you have any questions about the captions? Because I know that's the first time that we've talked about it explicitly. Does anybody need more guidance on the captioning? Okay, doesn't sound like it. If you do need help, just let us know and we'll be able to hopefully walk you through it. So just a reminder that the Mobility and Access Coalition focuses on transportation equity. We really believe that transportation access through multimodal options is essential to accessing opportunity, having a good quality of life, and meeting your basic needs. Next slide. This is our agenda for today. We're going to start off with a case study, and then we have updates, and then we're going to get into some 2026 agenda planning. So I will go ahead and next slide. Kick us off with our transportation case study. So we're going to do breakout rooms. I'm going to put a link in the chat for y'all. And then just remember what group number you are. There's each of the groups has a different slide on Google Slides. And then you can just brainstorm for about 15 minutes in your small groups and try to solve this case study. So here in this particular situation, we have Maria. You've met her at a resource fair. She shares that she has many unmet travel needs going from Louisville to Lafayette or just in Southeast Boulder County. She wants to go to Sister Carmen Food Pantry, also the Boulder County Southeast Hub and the Social Security Office. She lives at Kestrel, which I forgot to put in this on this slide, but Kestrel is an affordable housing location that is just on the border between Lafayette and Louisville. It's in Louisville. Maria uses a wheelchair and has one leg. She lives on a fixed income. She doesn't feel comfortable using fixed route buses independently, so you suggest that she could use Access-a-Ride. She said that she's applied before and she hasn't ever heard back from them. So the question is, how do we support Maria? And I will share with you the link. Here's the link for your breakout rooms. And just before you get into your breakout rooms, I just ask that you identify somebody who's going to be your spokesperson after the fact. So introduce yourselves, identify a spokesperson, and then after we convene in about 15 minutes, you'll be able to report back out. So what would be your approach with Maria? Anybody have any questions about how we're going to do breakout rooms? I know it's been a while. Okay. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the breakout rooms. Okay, thanks, Carla, for listening in. So Carla will be listening in. Thanks. Okay. Welcome back, Wade. Welcome back. Great, thanks. Okay, I think everybody's back from the breakout rooms. So we'll go ahead and get started with room one, which I think was Rebecca, Lindsay, Belinda, and Amy. Did you all select a spokesperson?
Yes, it's me.
Okay. So what was your solution for Maria?
So I'm gonna talk and say because I think one of our other people, I can't remember her name, wrote down things. So I'm gonna say, and then if I'm missing something, they're just gonna chime in and help.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, here. Let's see. I think. Oh, I guess one question is Maria veteran because that was another possible resource for her. She is a veteran. So that's one question, but just kind of giving her other options until Access-a-Ride comes through. Via Mobility is another one that's very like quicker to apply to, and you can start. Another option is that she go to CPWD and they can kind of help her figure out that part about the application. I think also Mobility for All might have some kind of connection, especially after she's applied 3 times and hasn't heard anything. There's something there. I think Mobility for All also could help with some like Uber or Z Trips or something like that. I think I think she's from, I kept confusing Lafayette and Louisville, but whatever, which L town it's from. There's like a free ride thing that they could use there. If she's uncomfortable with using the standard transportation, like finding someone who could help train her on that. So those are kind of the things we came up with. I don't know if I'm missing anything else. My group.
Yeah.
All right, is that us now? Group
Yeah,
two?
let's go ahead and go group 2. Thank
Okay,
you.
hopefully I don't cough too much. Yeah, so one thing, I work for Sister Carmen and I live by Kestrel and I know a lot of the folks at Kestrel quite well. So this story, I feel like there's a few things that we could do here. One, I think the first thing is to dig into this application that was not responded to after 3 application attempts with no response. So having someone help her go through that process. Was there an email that she put in wrong? Can we reach out to someone there to see how we can follow up and get that Access-a-Ride application processed? She's mentioned that she wasn't comfortable traveling independently on fixed routes. So that might be an opportunity to work on bolstering that confidence with an ambassador, with a travel buddy, maybe. There are lots of folks at Kestrel who do use fixed routes and who do use Lafayette Free Ride and other Via and other transportation options that, finding someone, putting up a message in the message board. Would anyone like to practice riding public transport with me? This is another option that might boost confidence if that's all that's missing. Secondly, there are some other options we can look at too. She should probably apply for the Live discount and things like that. These are some things that can be done online. I would recommend our digital navigator if she needs support with any of these online applications, even digging into what happened with her application to the Access-a-Ride. This is something our navigator does. It's a free in-person by appointment. She does go to Kestrel, so that's a great resource. Also, Sister Carmen does deliver, so you could sign up to get a delivery instead of making that trip, although there is a fixed route. And there are other things you could as well that you could try to. So if you really are not comfortable and are not getting more comfortable using the public transportation, taking some of the trips that you can off by doing delivery services or online services. For example, instead of going to the Social Security office, can you use the portal for some of the tasks you might need instead of going there physically in person? I know that doesn't solve the transportation issue. It just does take a few things off the list. What else did we talk about, guys? Anything else in there that? No?
I think you did a really good job summing it. I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything else that we talked about.
Great. Thank you so much. That was a great, very thorough overview. Next, how about group 3?
Hey y'all. So I mean, I think we talked about a lot of the same things that have already been mentioned. The only different thing we talked about was maybe asking her what she meant by having applied. Because sometimes folks think the call or the email is applying. And so it may be that she hasn't actually submitted an application. She's just reached out for more information. So making sure that she actually understands the application process and has done that. But otherwise, we talked about really a lot of the same things, reaching out to Mobility for All and connecting her with a transportation advocate via Mobility. The only other option we also talked a little bit about was GoGo Grandparent, that if she just wasn't that comfortable, I mean, there is kind of a cost differential there, but if just needing some assistance with the tech piece, although she's probably better off doing the Sister Carmen digital navigation support.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. So this was based on a real case. Maria wasn't the name, or like the details weren't the same. But I think, Sarah, do you want to give a brief overview of like what you did in this situation?
Yeah, yeah, I can try and remember everything, but I know that I talked to her about the application, and then my coworker Maya also helped with like sending it in, like faxing it in, because she didn't know how to fax. And so I think we mailed it, and then they said we lost the first page or something, and so we had copied it, or like Maya had copied it, and then she faxed it in, and so RTD got all the pages. And then I helped like call RTD to like schedule the trip for, because there's a trip, like there's a certification trip for every application. So I called RTD and scheduled that trip with the person that I was helping. Um, and then I went with her so that she didn't feel so alone and like she didn't get confused or anything. You know, sometimes it just helps to have somebody go with you. So I went with her on that trip. Um, and then she got approved and she's been using it ever since. So that's been, yeah, that's been good and helpful. I also brought snacks with me because that always helps.
Yeah,
And
snacks
when
do.
people are, yeah, snacks help on the long trips.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you, Sarah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think Liz's point around like what does she mean by apply, right? Because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know like what happened the 3 times previously, right? It could have been that she didn't get the doctor to sign the note, or that she didn't sign up for her appointment in person. And so it's just a reminder that like the access ride process is complicated. And so we just need to make sure that everybody knows the steps so that people don't think that they've done like one part of it and then like feel like RTD hasn't gotten back to them. So yeah, I don't know if there's any other comments or questions. Oh, Diana, that was the tip. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Diana. Is she still here? Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
I'm sure you help people sign up for Access2Ride quite a bit. Okay, so we're
Oh,
gonna go.
that's awesome.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that's awesome that she helps people.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Joseph, if you could share the slides, that would be great. Great. So we have some Mobility for All updates that we'll start with. So I can go ahead and start with some like bittersweet news. So the sweet part is that Nick Aguilera, who's on the call, will be joining Mobility for All. So we are so excited to be working with him, and he's currently well, 2 more days. He's on Alex's team, Alex Hyde-Wright, who's doing long range planning. So he will be moving from the long range planning position to Mobility for All. So Nick, I don't know if you want to unmic yourself and just introduce yourself.
Hi, Angel. Hi, everybody. My name is Nick Aguilera. I cannot wait to join the Mobility for All team. As Angel said, I've been working for Boulder County's long-range transportation planning team, but brings quite a few years of experience with community outreach and engagement and planning. So I cannot wait to support the work that Mobility for All is doing and continue working with all of you too. Thank you.
Yeah. Great, thank you, Nick. And you'll be seeing a lot more of him on the MEC meetings. And then the bitter news is that Jessica is going to be moving on from the county. So we are really sad to see her go. She's made such a huge impact in her 3.5 years on the Mobility for All program and has just led the MEC at different points. And we just really we're gonna miss her leadership. And I just wanted to turn it over to you, Jessica, if you wanted to say anything.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Angel. Thanks all. I know it's a change, and sometimes that's a little bittersweet for sure. But I'm very thankful for the time that I had at Mobility for All and working with Boulder County. And I'm gonna miss the team. And I'm just excited for what's coming up next for me. So thank you.
Yeah, lots of tears. Looks like Jen. Yeah. Well, we can't wait to see all the wonderful things that you're going to be doing, like in your next phase of your career. So, um, great. And we are going to be having a happy hour for her next Tuesday. So I'll just send some information out about that if you want to join us for happy hour in Longmont. Okay. There's lots of well wishes in the chat and broken hearts and cry faces and celebrations. So thank you so much. You will be missed for sure. Moving on to the next item is brochure. So Mobility for All has updated our brochure. If you would like some new, like us to get you some new brochures, please reach out to the Mobility for All email address and we'll be able to give you our updated brochure. Maya, she led the update effort and she did a great job of like focusing on like plain language and making sure that only the essential information was on the brochure so that it wasn't as busy. But we will be launching a text option so people can text us for information assistance, and that will be available on the brochure, encouraging people to text us. That will be helpful, especially with like real-time coordination for like travel trainings or something along those lines, because yeah, it can be a little bit challenging if you don't have a phone number. Okay, any questions about the brochure updates or the staffing changes? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sarah.
Hey, cool. Yeah, yeah, and the brochure update, by the way, I'm having some ambassadors deliver some brochures, and I have a whole list of places. It's a ginormous effort, but it's really fun for me. So we're doing all that. We went to 16 places in Longmont already, and then like Denise, one of our ambassadors, went to like 12 places yesterday in Lafayette. So we're delivering. So maybe your place already has brochures, but if it doesn't, yeah, you can, yeah, anyway, email us or yeah. But yeah, okay, so coming up are 2 RTD Live in-person work.
I think Sarah might be frozen. So I'll go ahead and continue with the sharing. So with the access on demand changes that RTD made, they're changing the cost for Uber and Lyft and Z-Trip subsidies. So now people need to pay $4.50 upfront in order to get a $20 subsidy for Uber, Lyft, and Z-Trip and Metro Taxi. They do have a low-income pass program that will help cover the cost. So that will cut the cost in half. So that'll be $2.25. So Sarah has been working with the Center for People with Disabilities to help get in-person workshops to help people sign up. So if you have people who could qualify for the low-income pass program, which is 250% federal poverty, So for the most part, it's pretty much anybody on like SSI, SSDI. They can get a discount on their Uber, Lyft, Z-Trip, and Metro Taxi trips. I just put the first workshop in the chat. That one is for Boulder. And then I'll put the second one. Sarah, are you back yet? Doesn't sound like it. Okay. So the one in March is going to be in Longmont. So Denver Human Services, they actually are under contract with RTD to help people sign up for the Low Income Pass program. So they will actually be at these workshops to help people sign up. Any questions about the live workshops? Okay. Next slide. Okay, so just a reminder for the Mountain Mobility Working Group. We have switched the schedule of the Mountain Mobility Working Group, so we will now be meeting every other month on the second Tuesday of the month. And I'll go ahead and put the registration link in the chat. It's the same time, 3 o'clock, but if you're interested in attending the Mountain Mobility Working Group, please sign up. And we'll send you an invite. Our first meeting is coming up in February for the year. Here is the registration link that I'll share with y'all. Maybe. There you go.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, sorry about that. My internet
No
went out,
worries.
I guess.
Yeah,
Kicked me
I've
out.
shared the links and I talked about access on demand fare increases, and
Awesome.
that's
Thank
why
you.
we scheduled it.
Yay! Thank you, Angel. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Zoom kicked me out.
Yeah,
Really annoying.
I think your internet froze. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
next slide, please. Joseph?
Yes, all right. 2026 Mountain Ride schedule. So just as a reminder, Mountain Rides is a fixed route service between Ward, Nederland, and Rollinsville. It's wheelchair accessible, it's free, no registrations needed, and it's dog friendly. So they'll be operating on Wednesdays and Thursdays now. And on Wednesdays, they'll go to the senior discount at the market at Nederland, senior lunch at Nederland Community Center, and then on Thursdays, Nederland Food Pantry and Clothing Closet, Human Services Fair, and 196 West First Street, Nederland. So I'll put a link in the chat for that schedule.
Great, thank you, Joseph. And on like a policy highlight, since we did have 3 days last year, we're trying to get back up. We're trying to find funding to get back up to 3 days or possibly even more. So our county commissioner, Claire Levy, has been talking to the Gilpin County commissioners. And so we're basically going to be providing them some data on how Mountain Rides benefits Gilpin County. And we'll see if they're able to contribute to the service and hopefully expand the number of days that we're able to serve the mountain region. It's been very successful especially for a rural service. Next slide. And Stephanie is not able to attend today. She had a conflict, but she just wanted me to remind everybody that there's the in-person regional coordinating council meeting on March 3rd from 11 to 1 p.m. It will be an opportunity for our coordinating council to network with other coordinating councils from around the region, and they'll be serving lunch, and there'll be just updates on like what's going on regionally. So I definitely recommend signing up, and I will forward you all the registration. I think you just have to email in order to register for it. But if anybody wants to carpool, we're open to carpooling to get there. Any questions about Dr. Max, Regional Coordinating Council? Okay. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Elaine.
Hello, everyone. Yes, coming up in February, we are again celebrating Winter Bike to Work Day. And if winter is looking like this, we expect a lot of people will be showing up. Even on years with snow, there are people who come out and do it. And, you know, while we default to calling it Bike to Work Day, it's really about trying to find other transportation throughout that week leading up to February 13th. So, you know, whether you're walking, rolling, biking, whatever, like for me, I have to do my biking a different day because starting at 7 a.m. at the chamber, we will have a breakfast station. And at the last I looked, there were 23 breakfast stations around town. So it's a great opportunity to see people who are getting around. We will have partners like Via Mobility and Lime Scooters should be joining us. So an opportunity for us to talk to people about yes, there's people walking and biking all year round. Be on the lookout, safe behavior, and also we're trying to work. You know, we've been working with Live at the county and City of Longmont and others about understanding this difference between e-bikes and e-motos. We're trying to use e-motos to distinguish these more powerful bikes you've probably seen from just regular bikes so that people are aware that not everything that people are riding are actually safe on the streets. So Boulder Police Department will also be at the Chambers Station. And then there's also activities on the Saturday, the 14th. Darcy, my colleague, will be doing a walk that starts in Gun Barrel and ends in South Boulder, about 15 miles. But if you don't walk that much in a day, you can also get on for different segments. And you can just visit biketoworkday.co to get more information and sign up. And otherwise, if you're out and about, come by and say hi. I'll be there at the chamber.
Great, thank you. Is anybody on the call planning on participating in Bike to Work Day? Looks like Nick is. Lindsay, I know that Wade is. Lindsay, I know you drop your kiddo off using a bike pretty much every
We will
day,
be-
right? Or most days.
Well, we'll be out of the state. And also, I just had surgery a few weeks ago, so I have not been on the bike too much. But believe me, when it gets a little bit warmer outside, we will be on our e-assist commuting to
Yeah.
school every day.
That's great. Okay, it looks like Amy's also going to be participating. That's great. Okay, so this is the last update before we get into some work plan planning for 2026. So the Colorado Association of Transit Agencies is a membership organization for transit agencies across the state, and they host two different conferences a year. There's the fall conference, which is usually like in the mountains, resort towns. And then there's the spring conference, which is usually in the Front Range. I just wanted to let everybody know that it's going to be in Boulder in May 12th through the 15th. And the first day of the 12th, I believe, is when they're going to have a mobility summit. And so all of our MAC members are invited to attend. And I think that we're going to be able to provide lunch for everybody. So encourage you. I'll give you more information like once we get closer. But even if you don't want to attend the full CASTA conference, it'll be a good opportunity to just meet with other local coordinating councils in May. Has anybody here on the call been to CASTA before? Let's see if I can.
I have before.
Yeah, that's
I've been
great.
to a variety of the conferences. Sorry, it's Megan.
I mean, yeah, it'll be a good opportunity. So there's people from North Front Range MPO who are participating in the planning effort. And so it'll be a good option to like meet a bunch of different people dedicated to improving transportation access and removing barriers for people. Okay, you can go ahead and stop sharing the screen. So we're going to do a Menti poll, and this might look a little familiar to the Mobility for All team because we've done this particular one last year with our division to test it out. But here is the QR code, and then I will put the link in the chat. So if you don't want to use your phone for QR code, you can just click on that link and it will open it up in a different window and you'll be able to participate. Okay, looks like we have some folks who are clicking. How many people do we have in the meeting? I can't see right now, like 17-ish. Okay, so it looks like we're getting close to the full group. We have about 12 people that are able to that are able to use the link. Is anybody else having a hard time with the link? Okay. I think we're good. I think we have 14 people, 15 that are in. If you need any assistance, you can reach out directly, but we'll go ahead and get started. So this is just a warm-up question, just to test out the app to see if it's working. So what's your favorite New Year tradition? Now that we're in, and it's just, you can enter your, I think it's just like free form responses. Eating 12 grapes. That's very specific. Who did anybody want to talk about that a little bit more?
Angel, that was me, Carla,
Oh,
calling with the
yeah.
Latino Chamber. In Mexico, I don't know if in Latin America, but in Mexico, there is a tradition of eating 12 grapes 12 seconds before and that's a choking risk now that I think about it. 12 seconds right before midnight. So you have 12 wishes, one for every month of the year.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. So
How
Laura
do I
said it's
think
also a
about
Spanish.
that?
Yeah.
It's a Spanish tradition too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Can
That's
you like
great.
decide your wishes beforehand so you don't have to think every second about which wish?
Yeah, I usually ask for health, love, and the other 10 are money, 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 money. Just so I don't have to think too much about it.
That's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, there's also trying new recipes. That's great. Does anybody want to speak to that one?
That's been one that I've tried these past few years. I have like a whole library of cookbooks in my closet that I haven't historically used enough. But these past few years, I have made it an intention to cook a new recipe at least once a month, if
Oh,
not more often.
wonderful. Yeah, I love it. Thanks for sharing. So it looks like there's like karaoke and dancing. Does anybody want to talk about like the more festive side of your traditions?
Yeah, I dance. Well, we always dance because I'm South America and we dance at every single party. So we dance till 11:55, then do the countdown and keep dancing. Oh, and we eat the grapes too. So
Yeah, that's wonderful. And then somebody makes buñuelos. I'm assuming I probably butchered that, but who put that one? Or does anybody want to speak to what buñuelos are?
We make buñuelos. Oops, there we go. We make buñuelos. So it's a fried tortilla, sweet tortilla that you dust with cinnamon and sugar.
Oh, yum. Yeah. swim in the sea. That is probably pretty cold, but yeah. Does anybody want to claim that one?
Oh, that was me. And I don't swim in any cold seas. So I go down to Mexico or somewhere.
That's good. I'm from Oregon, so like whenever I
Yeah,
hear like
yeah.
sea, I'm like it's freezing cold.
No, why would you do that? No.
Yeah. So it looks like London is somebody put London. Did anybody like celebrate? Does anybody want to talk about celebrating in London?
I was just one of the two people who put that. London
Yeah.
New Year's happens at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which means
Oh.
if you have 4-year-olds, you can
Got
celebrate it and do the countdown at 5 p.m. and then go to sleep. Not really sure what the other person meant, but that's what we do.
Celebrating London New Year's. Okay, I get it. I do that with New York. Like I go to bed at
Yeah,
That was
we
me that put London, and we just sort of start then because we also tend to make tapas. I need to add grapes to that list. I love that idea. But just, I'm not waiting till midnight to do the big celebration. So
Yeah, that's good. Does anybody like do the race that they do on New Year's? Like go like for like a 5K or go hiking on New Year's Day?
I usually do a hike on New Year's Day for
Yeah.
sure with the family. We've done that almost every year.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good way to like celebrate New Year's Eve on London time and then go hiking the next day so you're not like sleep deprived. Okay,
For
I'm gonna
sure.
go to the next slide. So for the MAC agenda types, we really have three things that we typically do. So trainings. So last year we did plain language training, racial equity training, travel training, like train the trainer. And then we do panel discussions. So that's interesting topics that have to do with transportation or different demographic groups that we serve. So it could be anything. I think last year we did housing and transportation. We also did like healthcare access. So it's basically a group of experts that can talk about the intersection with transportation. And then we have external presentations. And those are usually if you know that there's a transportation project that the city's doing or that there's some really cool pilot programs that are going on, then we would have we would invite those presenters to come to the MAC to present. So we'll kind of go through each of those, and there could be some overlap with topics. But starting off with trainings, I wanted to know like what trainings do you feel like the MAC should offer this year? So I think we have 2 or 3 days set aside for training specifically. So it looks like Access-a-Ride how-tos, and you can still keep submitting them, and we can have a discussion about it. So there's Access-a-Ride how-tos. I'm assuming that's an overview of the Access-a-Ride process. That's always useful. De-escalation training, right? So working with the public. Sometimes we get in situations that are not comfortable for folks. So how do we de-escalate a situation? Repeat, train the trainer. Does anybody want to speak to that? Like, would it be the same format or would it be something a little bit different for the train the trainer travel training?
That was me, Angel. I think it would probably be the same, or perhaps people could talk a little bit about what might be added. But I think that that training is always good to just repeat often.
Great. Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Mhm.
There's also disability etiquette, which that's something that we haven't done for a while. Digital accessibility, the history of transportation locally, including the things we've paid for and that haven't come to fruition. So I'm assuming that's the train discussion. Access right application do's and don'ts, another disability etiquette, culturally competent community outreach and engagement with transportation leaders. So does somebody want to speak to that a little bit more? Like, would we invite transportation leaders to the training, or would we have them like give the training, I guess? Okay, I'm not hearing anybody chime in for that one. So I went ahead and did like they have like a AI like analysis. So it looks like accessibility training, disability etiquette has 3 responses. I don't know if I agree with Access-a-Ride being included in that one. The legislation history and community outreach. Does anybody want to speak to any of these, or any of these rising to the top for the group?
Angel, I am the one that shared the culturally competent community outreach and engagement with transportation leaders. I feel like it would be interesting to invite transportation leaders and community members so the leaders can listen about the needs and cultural and systemic barriers that people encounter. Maybe a panel, maybe this is more like for a panel, or it can be a little bit of both. But I think leaders and people in positions of power in regards of transportation need to listen directly from the community members and not only from community leaders that represent them. So I believe that could be a big learning opportunity for transportation leaders in many areas, you know, RTD and sustainable transportation and CDOT and, you know, elected officials, anyone that would like to listen from the community. I think that would be a great opportunity.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, thanks for clarifying a little bit more. I like that idea. It seems, yeah, I think a panel discussion like that you had mentioned seems like that might be a good forum. We could talk about it a little bit more. I'll follow up, Carla. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to go to the next slide. Also, Mobility Options 101 overview. I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. So panel discussions. What panel discussions would you like to see the MAC offer this year? I know that we've been doing panel discussions for a couple years, so like sometimes I get into the same habit of like repeating the work access, healthcare access, just because that's where my mind goes. So I would love to have some like creative, innovative ways that we can incorporate new ideas into these panel discussions. Okay. Keep the suggestions coming in. So e-bikes, can whoever submitted that one, would you like to speak a little bit more about who would be on that panel? Like what different perspectives do we think we would want on a panel about e-bikes?
Yeah, I was the one who submitted that one, and we've been doing some panel discussions. We did the Chamber of Commerce in Boulder, and we did a community night at Louisville Middle School in November. That one had police and fire and officials from the hospital. The one with the chamber had folks from the city, someone from People for Bikes, and me. And I'm just thinking, just getting the word out to more groups about the differences, kind of like Elaine was saying, between e-bikes and e-motos, and just helping to educate the public about what's legal, what's not, where you can ride it, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. I like that. I think also like we could do like the next one, like transportation safety, like potentially there could be like a transportation safety panel discussion, and we'd have an experts specifically for e-bikes on there, e-motos. I like it. So somebody said that they would be interested in hearing from funding decision makers and what influences cuts and more for them in transportation these days. Yeah, does somebody want to speak to that a little bit more? Like funding decision makers specifically around like Boulder County or just regionally
Angel,
or
that one's me.
Yeah.
We, of course, at the AAA have been hit by some funding cuts, especially from the county. But yeah, to me, for the most part, maybe it's more about having elected officials kind of speaking to what's driving some of their decisions and what they think the balance is. You know, I find with our services, and I'm sure it's the same in transportation as well, that there's sort of a misconception about duplication of services at times in the things that we provide. And, you know, maybe it's something that we can turn into advocacy, and maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's those of us who are supporting folks who need transportation in the community saying why you know, it's just so imperative that we're still able to have that funding to provide those services to folks, and how we do, you know, how we are cost effective and efficient with our dollars. Could be one of either ways. I don't know. It's just a first thought.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. It also kind of dovetails into the real life experiences from people who can't drive. I mean, it seems like maybe we could have a panel discussion of like community members themselves and like what impacts their transportation, right? We could like strategically find people across the county that use different modes of transportation and, you know, ask them questions, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. And then I had added the culturally competent outreach strategies because Carla had mentioned it, and so I thought it might be a good panel discussion as well. Looks like there's more about disability experiences and what's helpful and what's not. I think that kind of goes along the lines of like disability etiquette, which is above it, and attention and care that is needed working with people with disabilities. And then transportation resources per municipality. That's great. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next, and I know we're getting towards the end of the meeting. So what presentations would you like? Anyone need an accessory queen? She can be on a panel. That's she's trying to like stuff the ballot box here. Trying to get all eyes. She wants to be on a panel.
That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So for presentations, usually these can be anything from like policy presentations from like CDOT. We can request, like we had CDOT come out for the 10-year plan, I believe, last year. Or it could be something that's much more specific to a municipality. We could do presentations for like upcoming projects. I know that we're going to have presentations from like the transit plan, which is going on now. There's also other projects that the county will probably like try to give presentations on at the MAC. So any projects, plans you'd like to know more about, or it doesn't have to be a transportation plan either necessarily. It could be a human services plan too that we could give presentations on.
Hey, Angel, one thing to consider is currently the schedule is saying May 2027 for the opening of 119. There could be things developing before then, but just making sure people are aware. Also with the B2B service, Boulder Brighton, fingers crossed that the resources are there to make sure that these things launch. So, and also we're eagerly awaiting the Ride Gun Barrel, still, TBD on when that launches, but just having more of these options in the community, I think, making sure we have good open discussion on will be great.
Thank you. That's great. So I added a couple of them that you had mentioned for my memory. Yeah, there is interest, I believe, in this. I don't know if Denise is still on the call. Was that
I actually put that, Angel, because I've been trying to promote more transparency within the community, and ANI will present on their waivers, and there could even be an element of what transportation is within those waivers that might be of interest to people.
Yeah. And sorry, Diana, I said Denise when I met you from INA. Do you think that INA would be interested in giving a presentation on Medicaid waiver transportation?
Yeah, I think so. Typically the ones who do that are department leads. What's her name? Erica. I'm blanking on her last name right now. But yeah.
Kinsella.
Yeah. Yeah. Schroeder. Erica Schroeder. Yes. So just like a quick rundown, typically if you're on one of the IDD waivers, they cover the cost of accessory tickets or bus tickets, which I know can be a burden to a lot of our low income clients. So it's an ongoing, as long as they comply with the waiver, they will receive those services. So yeah, I mean, if you want me to shoot Erica an email, I can do that, or you can, maybe I can reach out to you. I don't know what the best way to.
Yeah, I mean, if you could do an email introduction, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, I can do that.
Looks like Mobility Options 101 might be a good overview, the presentation that we have. Anything else that people want to get on the agenda? Do you know of any, I don't know, Lindsay, if you all have updated your Age Well plan, or are there any human services oriented planning efforts that we need to have on our radar?
Angel, for us, the only thing we have coming up is our area plan, which is just due to the state. And honestly, it's not really worth mentioning or presenting on. We're focusing kind of more on the micro level on some of our issue briefs and getting the word out about what our services do. So I'll just share those via email for the crew as we get through them.
Okay, that sounds good. Great. I don't know, Liz, I know last year you had talked about the BOGO help. Is there anything from the Family Resource Center that you feel like would be good to elevate to transportation professionals?
I was trying to think about stuff and nothing comes to mind. I mean, we are still advocating for BOCO Find Help. So if you have a program that would qualify, to make sure it's on there and you've claimed it. We're in the process of finalizing our 26-27 work plan for the network. So it might be that there's something off of that that's relevant, but I can follow up with you.
Okay, that sounds good. Great. Oh yeah, thanks for adding the bus stop inventory assessment. Safe routes to school action plan. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the meeting. So I think that we are, yeah, that one wasn't as useful. So I think we're at the end of the meeting. So thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to 2026 and all the ideas, putting all these ideas into action. And just a reminder, Elaine and Adriana Torres are the co-chairs, and they've been meeting to help plan the agendas. Don't forget that there's the new link for the 2026 meetings. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jill.
Bye. Hi,
Bye,
Sue. I didn't
y'all.
see you hop on, Sue.
Yeah, I hopped on after my last meeting, but I think I was too late for the Winter Bike to Work Day stuff. But I sent you an email with all the info.
Great, thank you. And Elaine was able to give us an update on it.
Okay, yeah, Elaine was on.
Yeah, I missed that there are workshops